Hello, my name is Al Berg from the Syracuse University Omicron chapter, graduate of Syracuse 1973. If that sounds old to you, it certainly sounds old to me. But here we are, 50 or 60 years later, and allowing me the great opportunity to reflect on my time at Syracuse, being a ZBT, as well as many of the years in between. I'm very sorry that I couldn't be there with you for this wonderful occasion. There's no question you have a fun-filled, educational week with great people from all over America. I saw the agenda, and I'm very jealous how much fun you're all going to have while you're learning and doing so much good to move forward ZBT around America. I am very pleased to be the award recipient of the Heritage Award this year. I looked at the list of some of the previous winners, and I am certainly honored to be in the company of such wonderful people who appear to have done so much for their communities over these years. One name that sticks out is Tal Brody. So to give you just a small connection to Tal, I met Tal about 2 years ago. He was finishing his film up that he was doing with Nancy Spielberg. Hopefully you're seeing the film this weekend. It's being shown, and it's an amazing film. And I was a small donor to the film because of my relationship with Nancy. My relationship with Nancy was because I was the executive producer of another wonderful film called Above and Beyond, the creation of the Israeli Air Force. If you haven't seen that film yet, make sure you put it on your list of things to do. But between that film, Tal Brody, his film, and Nancy Spielberg, I am honored to have gotten to know Tal and that he is presenting his film at your convention. In looking back at my days at Syracuse, one question that pops into mind is, why did I join ZBT fraternity? And I really don't know. I didn't go to Syracuse thinking I would be a Zeeb or even thinking the fraternity system. But once I got to Syracuse, which is a very big school, I started understanding the fraternity system and seeing how various groups of people congregated in a fraternal manner. And it became very clear to me that those who were Zeebs were some of the closest type of people either I was hanging with in high school or wanted to hang with in high school. Just good, honest, hardworking citizens. And so after going to Syracuse, learning the fraternity system quickly, it was almost a miracle that I went to ZBT for Rush and got into that fraternity. Some of my best friends have come from ZBT fraternity. I was an officer at Zeeb with Jan Berman, a name you may know from Long Island, who was also my roommate for many years, and another fellow named Ted Weiner. And to this day, Jan, Ted, and I are very close friends. But ZBT, in looking back, did so many wonderful things for me that at the time I'm not even sure I recognized. Some of it was teaching me leadership skills. As an officer of the fraternity, I needed to understand, how does a business work? How do you get people socially to work together, to live together, to not kill each other? As a member of Zeeb, I got to see some of the finer events on campus that we would put on for charity purposes. So there were many, many things that came from being a Zeeb. Building of my confidence. By being with a group of great guys, I was able to feel more confident in my own self-being as I built great relationships and great friendships, which, as I said, have lasted through the years. So there are many great things that have come out of my being a Zeeb, and I am very fortunate to say that was very lucky that I became a Zeeb and met so many fine people and became brothers with them. I'm often asked, why do I spend so much time working with different organizations, charities, ways to help the community, and allow me the wonderful opportunity to give back? I've been fortunate in my business career to be able to give, whether it's time if you don't have money, or time and money if you have both. But I've been very fortunate to give back, and I've tried to understand myself. Why do I have this urge? As a Jewish fellow, tzedakah is a major concept. I'm not sure why it's in my blood or genes, but fortunately it is. And there are many benefits to that, because I have found that helping others is actually more exciting and more empowering than just helping yourself. This has applied to my business life a lot, because as I was building my companies, I would help build my sales teams and my management team to make them all stronger for the betterment of each individual, but of course the whole. And so whether you're giving back for the purpose of charity or to help others, you're also giving back in the sense of helping each individual maximize their own potential. And that is an extremely exciting concept. So previously I hadn't really thought about them all going together, but I would say the desire and ability to give back, whether it's charity or it's helping build a better team and a better business, it's all under the same heading, which is there's a lot more power of the success of helping others than just helping yourself. All of this ties together perfectly with my desire to help organizations that have the ability to fight hate or fight anti-Semitism. Anti-Semitism and hate that's taking place on campus, the BDS movement, the friction that is existing, that's not allowing on college campuses the ability to have intellectual conversations and share ideas, rather than in that bastion of civilization to have an environment literally of hatred and lack of discourse. And so when ZBT and I was discussing what programs could we possibly work together on, it was the BDS program and the anti-Semitism programs that really hit home. I'm involved in a lot of Jewish organizations, but one critical element is that while many of them are working on anti-Semitism and the BDS movement on college campuses, they're all working from the outside. ZBT, with chapters all over America, has the potential of making a major difference because you are on the inside. And so we sat together, starting a few years ago. We outlined a variety of possible programs. How could ZBT help spearhead an anti-hate movement? Some type of movement where people on college campuses could fight those who, whether they're anti-Semitic or anti-gay or anti-anything. And it's an interesting world we live in. People seem to wake up with an anti-something. But if we could focus people's attention on how to understand hate and hate prevention, then perhaps we could make a better place. And so with that foundation, with ZBT, understanding the position that they have on every college campus, with funding from myself and others, we are testing what we hope to be is a great program on college campuses to deal head-on with hate and hate prevention, and that ties, of course, to dealing with the BDS movement and anti-Semitism. Now we get to the best part. After working for 50 years, what advice would I give to my son, my daughter, a person graduating school soon? What would I tell them is the nuggets of what I have learned for them to use going forward. And the greatest nugget that I will give you, the one thing, as they used to say in that film, is that you are in control of your destiny. Now that may sound like an easy sentence, but the answer is you're the boss of whatever happens to you. Number one, you live at the best time to live on this planet. And I challenge you to go and pick any year you would prefer to live than in 2017. Any year. And when you think about all those great opportunities where you could have lived, you will circle back and say, 2017 is a fine place to begin my business career. Yes, there are many problems in this planet. Yes, there are many challenges. But yes, there are many opportunities. And in many cases, we're starting with a lot better things going for us as individuals and the planet than they did for the last 5,000 years. So point one, you're living at the best time. Point two, you can be anything you want to be. I say that statement. I've heard from people, oh, Al, you're just saying that. You don't really mean that. I have seen in my business career that the number one reason for failure is the failure to try. Not the failure of trying and not succeeding, but the failure of trying. I'll give you a perfect example. I went to Harvard Business School. They said they sent out 8,000 applications. This is back in 1973. Of the 8,000 applications, and it was 8,000, 10,000, didn't matter, only 3,000 were returned. 5,000, 7,000 people eliminated themselves because they decided they couldn't apply because they weren't qualified. Their failure was they didn't even have the guts to fill out the application. So my message to you is simple. Decide what it is that you want to do on this planet and with your life. Decide what your passion is. What turns you on every day? What gets you excited? Because if you can define what you want with your life, what you're good at, what excites you, if you can define that, you will work harder, you will work smarter, and you will be more successful. And so that's the formula of life. Figure out what it is that you love doing and be prepared to work super hard doing what you love doing. And as I said, there's no better time than 2017 to begin that vision. So good luck. I'm sorry I couldn't be with you this weekend, but I look forward to seeing each of you at another convention. Thank you very much.